David, you will be happy to know that Mr. Rohit Singh is already the MBA from Harvard, actually, near about you.
Really? Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
I'm from the Kennedy School, but I did some courses at the business school.
Very, very nice.
I was also at a course in MIT with Abhijit and Esther, Abhijit Banerjee and Esther in JPL.
Yes, yes, yes. Very good. When was this, if I can ask?
Oh, long time ago. I think 2004.
Wow. Time flies.
Oh, yes.
But I think, David, data science lab came somewhere, I think, 4 or 5 years ago only. No?
Exactly, exactly.
Okay. Is it part of the Sloan School or is it in MIT other than
It's
Sloan?
It's in the College of Computing. College of Computing is a new college that was established maybe 7 years ago. So it's part of the
Okay.
college. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
College of Computing is where data science is at MIT.
Okay.
David, you will be very happy to know that Mr. Rohit Singh has done incredible work for bringing a lot of newer changes in the financing aspects of our road network, that is a NHAI, that is we call. And also currently he is heading a very important ministry called Ministry of Consumer Affairs.
Very nice. Very impressive. Very impressive.
Thank you, sir. I saw your, thing on the Wikipedia, and I'm very impressed with your the Tel Aviv University, Columbia, and other places, Northwestern that you have been to, and the kind of work you have done. So
Recently, Rohit, you will be happy to know that just few days back, I think 4 days back, David has been elected as a fellow of National Academy of Engineering, US.
oh, congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
So
you.
do we get the party in Cambridge or in New Delhi? Where do we get?
I would love to do it in New Delhi. I told Professor Manoj, I really want to come and visit and do this stuff in person.
Okay. No, we'll invite you. We'll invite you.
Yeah. You know, I've been to India maybe 5 times, but in and out, coming, working and going. I need to come for a longer time to be there.
Yes.
Professor David and Professor Singh, Mr. Singh, we have our alums to Jain Saab. You can see that he's also heading a company and very accomplished person, sir.
Hi, good morning, good evening. Hi.
Good evening.
Sanjeev Jain ji.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir, for inviting. It's always a pleasure to be part of NITIE in any event, and an honor, Professor David and Shri Rohit Kumarji. Good to talk along with all of you to this. I am told how many participants? 300 plus?
Sir, 318 participants from the industry and academia and others, but mainly industry, and around 450 something from our institutions, sir, 500 from DT, sir.
Oh my God, very large audience.
Yeah, all together it is somewhere around 850 participants. Actually.
Excellent. I prepared a small presentation, 2-3 page presentation, Professor David and Professor Manoj, just to make sure that, sometimes people are not listening. So hopefully if it's in the print, they can visualize it and see it.
No. Actually, David, one more thing. Mr. Rohit Pratap Singh is very near to my hometown. Actually, he did his bachelor from one of the very renowned and old school of India, that is now known as IIT BHU. Earlier it was known as IT BHU, where earlier we did one course with, actually Rohit, you will be happy to know, myself and David did one course on what you call same thing like logistics, digitization and transformation of supply chain with IIT BHU, with Jain Sahab and company around 4 months back actually, sir.
Oh.
Yeah, and he is the graduate and distinguished alumnus awardee of IIT BHU.
Very impressive.
Mr. Jain.
No, you. I'm talking
you.
about Rohit.
I'm not me. Rohit, congratulations.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm distinguished alumni from NITIE.
Yeah. That I know. That I know, Jain Sahab. That I know.
Okay.
So
we also have a partnership with BHU on digital metrology.
Yeah, sir.
On Indian Institute of Legal Metrology in Ranchi under our ministry. So
Yeah.
signed them up with ITBHU for knowledge partnership.
I think, sir, now you are giving a lot of focus on the standardization and all those things of your ministry, because that is very essential, actually, sir.
Right.
And we feel that this current course of David is very good. We connected with the PM Gati Shakti mission also, sir, because how to capacity building in the domain of all these modern tools, which can help the better manpower to understand the logistics, supply chain, and financing and all other aspects which are required to improve our economy also and take it to the next level. So keeping that in mind, this course will be very, very useful for the participants. So, Jan Saab, how everything is there? Fine?
Yes, we are good. The industry is going through a tough phase, the IT industry right now. I think a lot of, in fact, this is where the topic makes a lot of sense. I lead, Professor David, just so you know, talent supply chain. And I think for whatever reason, the planning that was done had demand heavily overcommitted. The demand did not come in. So I think a lot of employees were hired in anticipation of demand, and now you see the layoffs happening. Not good for the economy.
I think, sir, I have few my friends in US and that they are taking. Say this layoff basically, sir, its impact because of the COVID is over now, sir. So most of those extra work that we were doing by online and other things. So now people started going to the market and everywhere. Plus, many sophisticated programs have been developed. So because of that, actually, now I think there is some layoff going on, and hope that it will end soon, and many more newer kind of jobs will come into the market. Actually, so David, what is your opinion, actually?
I'm going to talk actually exactly about that in the opening remark, because this what Jane said is really a problem across countries and across industries. You see it in the US, you see it in Europe, you see it in India. So I'll talk a little bit about that in the opening remark, just to highlight some observations.
Yeah. So David, just let me check, then we can start from the team.
Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to the inaugural session of the Global Online Certification course on Business Analytics from Data to Insights and Decision Making 2023. On behalf of the National Institute of Industrial Engineering NITIE, I would like to thank all the dignitaries, faculty, and course participants for gracing us with your presence on this occasion as we embark on a month-long journey of learning. Today, we have with us Honorable Chief Guest Shri Rohit Kumar Singh, Secretary, Department of Consumer Affairs, and keynote speaker Shri Sanjeev Jain, Global Head Workforce Management and Academy at Kyndryl. We also have with us our reputed and well-renowned course instructors, Professor David Simchi-Levi from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA, and Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari, Director at NITIE. Today, analytics is an integral part of modern supply chain management. This course should provide the foundation you need to understand and apply these methods to drive supply chain value. We thank everyone for giving such an overwhelming response to this course. And without further ado, I would now like to call Mr. Manthan Tyagi, student coordinator for the course, to give a brief about our institute, the course, and its registration statistics.
Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to the inaugural ceremony of the Global Online Certification course on Business Analytics from Data to Insights and Decision Making 2023. On behalf of NITIE Mumbai, I would like to thank all the dignitaries, faculty, and course participants for gracing us with their presence on this occasion. Today we have with us Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Rohit Kumar Singh, Secretary to the Government of India, Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, and Shri Sanjeev Jain, who is a senior leader at Kindred as our guest of honor. We also have with us our reputed and world-renowned course instructor, Professor David Simchi-Levi from MIT USA, our chief patron of the course, Professor Manoj K, Tiwari, Director NITIE. NITIE was established in 1963 by the Government of India with the purpose of advancing transformative education and industry-inspired research, thus helping Indian businesses to make their presence felt globally. It has proven its excellence by continuously being featured among India's best B schools and was ranked 9th among the management schools in India by National Institution in Ranking Framework, that is NIRF, in 2022. It is the leading institute of operations and supply chain management, and this is evident from the placement statistics of the batch. NITIE attracted 100 plus recruiters for its final placement, with the average salary for batch being more than 25 lakhs per annum. Thus, NITIE has aligned its vision and activities in line with the current and future needs of the Indian industries, making them globally influential. NITIE has successfully completed 7 versions of the Global Online Certification course with Professor David Simchi-Levi. The courses received an overwhelming response with close to 14,500 participants from eminent organizations like Accenture, Cipla, Micron, ITC, TCS, and many more. Across the 7 courses, we have trained more than 1,900 industry professionals and 900 plus students and faculty from prominent institutes. I would like to highlight the success of our previous courses, where we received an average rating of 4.5 out of 5 for teaching style, course execution, and overall lecture experience. After the success of previous courses, NITIE launched this course addressing the requirements of the industry in collaboration with Professor David Simchi-Levi, considering the emergence of the use of data analytics in industries globally. This is a 30-hour weekend-only course with a prime focus on topics such as optimizing complex decisions, machine learning techniques, model selection and integration of techniques, and digital supply chain transformation. Our course instructor, Professor David Simchi-Levi, is the most renowned professor and thought leader in the field of analytics, operations, supply chain, and supply chain management. He also serves as the editor-in-chief of a leading journal named Management Science. He is the recipient of the prestigious Informs Impact Prize 2020 for his work on supply chain resilience. And recently, he also has been elected as a member of the National Academy of Engineering for contributions using optimization and stochastic modeling to enhance supply chain management and operations. Professor Manoj Tiwari, Director NITIE, is a stalwart in the field of operations and STM domain. With over 340 publications in international journals, he is also the recipient of Most Influential Researcher Award in this domain. Recently, a testimony to his stupendous endeavors and the Indian Institution of Industrial Engineering conferred upon him its highest recognition, which is the Lillian Gilbreth Award for the year 2021-2022, in cognizance of his outstanding contribution to the industrial engineering profession in India. We have diverse participants ranging from eminent institutes like IITs, IIMs, SCMRD, DAPME, V School, and industry professionals from companies like Micron, Cipla, Accenture, Cummins, Captain Fresh, and many more.
Thank you, Manthan. Now, I would like to call upon Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari, Director NITIE, for the welcome address. Professor Tiwari is a higher academic grade professor from the Industrial Engineering and Systems Management Group at IIT Kharagpur, currently online at NITIE as director since 2019. His research interests have been supported by several industries along with national and international research during agencies. He has published more than 320 papers in reputed international journals and is also the recipient of Most Influential Researcher Award in the domain of operations and supply chain management. It is because of his stellar vision and leadership that this course has been made possible. Director Sir, I kindly request you to share a few words.
Thank you, Iska. And first of all, I am very much thankful to our chief guest, Sri Rohit Kumar Singh, for accepting our request and coming to inaugurate this course, which is conducted by one of the well-known professor and fellow of National Academy of Engineering, US, which is a rare honor for any scientist and any professor in the world. And Professor David has done wonderful work in the domain of logistics, supply chain management, and his book is an authority, and which is referred not only in the US but entire world. People are used to fund of that book when they want to learn about the digitization, transformation of supply chain management. And what I saw, Professor David is one of the rare breed of academicians who used to publish top quality article in the journals like Management Science, Operations Research, MSOM, POM, which are rare for anybody, dream for anybody to publish in those journals. And but equally powerful is that his analysis for the industry, where he talks with the people who less understand the language of modeling, mathematics, or AI, but he translates the nicely the problems of the industry and then convert it into one of solutions which all of them can understand. And that's why the case studies which he has done in the domain of analytics, particularly both predictive and prescriptive, because he has given that online idea of smart optimization, smart prediction plus optimization, which he used nicely for building the framework of fashion products analysis. And that is being rigorously followed by most of the academicians in the world in order to do that. Similarly, to all my audience and participants, I used to mention here in this gathering, there are many fiat which Professor David is adorning. One among them is the during COVID he built up an stress test, which is now a testimony to check whether any supply chain is going to witness the resilience required to pass its required view during the crisis period. So one of the very fundamental model that he gave, I think it's going to be highly publicized and reputed, and people will quote in days to come how such powerful contribution he has made. And thank you, Professor David, for accepting us and giving a very wider coverage to different basics and advanced topic like linear regression, logistic regression, k-near neighbors, and then linking the problems with the pricing, online and offline retailer, estimating last sales, price elasticity demand, and then pricing decisions, and also allowing different kind of games to be understood by the participants to drive away the concepts that you want to mention in this course. And thank you once again, Professor David. And I think our chief guest is very generous enough to come and accepted our invitation. And such kind of is the image of Mr. Rohit Kumar Singh, that he built up a very nice model called hybrid annuity model, which he has applied to the National Highway Authority and public-private partnership. And I think that is a quotable quotes in the domain of when we call that how to toll operate transfer model, and this has led to savings in the tune of around 1.5 billion US dollar. So Mr. Singh, I think you did a salutable job, and we in India really very much proud of you for giving such kind of massive, advantage to our country. That too, when there is a everywhere talk is going on that how to complete the project in less amount of time, and in that context, sir, we are providing the coordinatorship and leadership to the PM Gati Shakti implementation among all the IITs and IIMs and NITs. And under that banner, sir, we are trying to push the different kind of technology as well as the platforms which has been built up in order to support the many interdepartmental projects and also capacity building decisions. And we design many courses to support that idea. And certainly, sir, your presence and I'm very much thankful to our Secretary, Ministry of Higher Education, Sri K. Sanjay Murthy ji, who on my request connected with Mr. Rohit Singh ji. And sir, really, we are thankful to you for coming to NITIE platform. And our own alum, Sanjeev Jain ji, is a really very renowned and reputed, experts in the domain of both analytics and supply chain management. And what I say, I think that will be less about him. Sir, thank you very much for coming and accepting our invitation. So now I think next, Isika, how you are going to flow about the whole things, please go ahead with your, schedule agenda, please.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Now I invite Professor David Simchi-Levi, our lead instructor of the course for the keynote session. He is the Professor of Business and Supply Chain Analytics and the Director of the Data Science Lab at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA. Professor Simchi-Levi founded Logic Tools, now a subsidiary of IBM, which provided software solutions and decision support systems to clients such as Caterpillar, Conagra, and Kraft Foods, among others. He later co-founded OPS Rules and Analytics, which are now part of Accenture. Professor David had also been previously associated with NITIE for 7 global online certification courses in the domains of supply chain management and data analytics. The courses were highly successful with over 12,000 participants from 20 plus countries. We welcome Professor David again to NITIE, and we are honored to have this association with you, sir. Professor David Simchi-Levi, the stage is all yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the participant, and it's a pleasure to be here with a dignitary from all around India. Let me tell you a little bit about what we are going to do in this class and connect with some of the challenges that companies face today. Yesterday, I attended an industry conference with people from a variety of industries, from CPG, consumer packaged goods manufacturing companies, from high-tech semiconductor manufacturer, oil and gas, energy company, agriculture companies. All of them talked about a variety of challenges that they are facing, but when you listen carefully, you decode 3 important challenges. The first challenge is directly related to inflation. Companies are under tremendous pressure to cut cost in their business, to cut supply chain costs, to cut logistics costs, and they are looking for ways to reduce cost in their supply chain. The second challenge that most of these companies face is around resiliency. In the last 3 years, I don't need to emphasize, we have seen lots and lots of different disruptions related to COVID, related to the war in Ukraine, related to some of the energy crisis. All these disruptions affect companies, and an executive are asking, how can I increase the resiliency of my supply chain, identify hidden risk, and develop mitigation strategies? And the third challenge that the executive talks about is the labor market. With people during and after COVID departing the labor market, the question is there a way to automate processes to compensate for some of the departures that we see in certain area in the labor market. If you think about these three challenges, one way to address the three challenges is through data and analytics. This is exactly what we will focus on in this class. How can companies, organizations, businesses use data and analytics to cut costs while at the same time increase the resiliency of their supply chain, to automate processes while at the same time provide responsiveness, service level to their customers. We will talk, Professor Manoj, who has been my partner over the last 7 classes and is my partner today. Both of us will talk about our experience implementing digital transformation in a variety of industries, from CPG to high-tech to fashion retailing, all the way to appliance manufacturers. So welcome to this class. I'm excited about this topic, which is very timely. And in particular, I'm excited about talking to this audience because I truly believe that new business processes, new analytics, together with effective data, can help the Indian industry improve its operation and supply chain. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor David, for your insightful words. It is always an honor and an enriching experience to hear from you. This course is an initiative to accelerate the adoption of the PM Gati Shakti scheme, a national master plan as conceived by our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. This plan aims at making India a developed nation in the next 25 years by improving its logistical capability. It is essentially a digital platform that brings 16 union ministries together, including the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, for integrated planning, coordination, and implementation of infrastructure connectivity projects for comprehensive and inclusive socio-economic progress in different parts of the country. To further understand the vision and mission of PM Gati Shakti scheme, we have a small video.
And railways to seas. From infrastructural planning to its execution, from education to employment, everything is getting connected by the country's first integrated connectivity scheme, PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan. PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan shall accelerate connectivity, boost investments worth billions, and strengthen the country's infrastructure. It will lay India's foundation for the next 25 years, shaping a new future. The Ministry of Education has taken up the responsibility to give impetus to Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's vision. PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan has brought together premier institutes, including NITIE, IITs, NITs, IIITs, and IIMs to train the team engaged in its effective implementation and provide them with scheme-centric skills. AICTE Training and Learning Academy, Atal, is preparing to provide learning courses for talent education, faculty training, and skilling aligned to PM Gati Shakti. NITIE has been playing a significant role as the nodal hub for capacity building in PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan. The courses developed and designed by NITIE will cover each and every aspect related to agri-food supply chain management to strategic management in rail and road transportation. More than 75,000 students and officers will be given 30 hours of training in these courses under NITIE's leadership. This training shall be an unparalleled blend of high-level teaching, training, skill development, and capacity building. Through this scheme, the government has given priority to topics like climate change, decarbonization of logistics, and sustainable supply chains. Moving ahead in this direction, the Ministry of Education organized an online workshop on 28 June 2022 in collaboration with NITIE and BISAG-N. In this workshop, the officials were briefed on topics like promotion of satellite communication, geoinformatics, and geospatial technology, and multimodal logistics for urban planning. Initiatives to promote the application of geospatial technology and geoinformatics developed by BISAG-N Ahmedabad have been made in the logistics and transport sector. Their cooperation is expected in this regard. This campaign by the Ministry of Education under the National Education Policy shall enable professionals and entrepreneurs. We are prepared to reduce the transportation cost from 40% to 9% and achieve the goals set by the Government of India. These special learning courses by the Ministry of Education shall not only enhance the talent connected to PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan, but also equip them with the latest technology, polish their skills, and double PM Gati Shakti's developmental speed.
PM Gati Shakti Master Plan सरकारी प्रोसेस और उससे जुड़े अलग अलग स्टेक होल्डर्स को तो एक साथ लाता ही है। ये ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के अलग अलग बोर्ड्स को उसमें जोड़ने में भी मदद करता है। ये होलिस्टिक गवर्नेंस का विस्तार है।
This time, Jaro Education has associated with NITIE as a marketing partner for this course. Now, I would like to call the CEO of Jaro for her opening remarks.
Thank you so much, Ashika, for the introduction of Jaro. Please excuse me for my bad throat today. So, a warm evening to Director Sir, Professor Manoj Tiwari, Professor David Simchi, our guest speakers, Team NITIE and Team Jaro Education. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you on this Business Analytics Program Orientation 2023. A quick introduction of myself and Jaro. I'm Ranjita Raman, CEO of Jaro Education, been serving EdTech industry for about 15 years now. And I think Jaro had been one of the primary players in EdTech and has been seen instrumental growth. We are India's, and thank you, Tiwari sir, for giving us this opportunity to market this program. It was great to work with Team NITIE and driving your vision together. We are India's most trusted higher education company, having been recognized for changing the online landscape in India. Jaro Education provides about more than 50 plus management and technology programs and techno-functional programs in collaboration with Globe's finest academic institutions. With strong domain expertise, insights into executive education space, and having operations across India, Singapore, and United States, we've transformed the careers for more than about 3 lakh plus working professionals over these 13 years of our services. We're delighted to collaborate with NITIE to strengthen and promote our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji's vision under Gati Shakti Yojana, which has just been shown to us and was an amazing video. Thank you so much. Which aims to make India a renowned manufacturing hub on a global landscape and enhance the country's competitiveness in the global market, enhance transportation infrastructure, thereby reducing logistic costs and increasing efficiencies. This association marks our commitment towards learners for providing high-quality education with affordable cost. The business analytics, which says for data to insights and decision-making, program, it's unique because you will have a chance to learn from world-class faculty you've just been introduced to from MIT. As we progress to the Industry 5.0, the focus shifts to utilizing predictive analytics, machine learning, digital technology to transform how business function and grow. This industry highlights an integration of human creativity with the precision of robotics. With the rapid growth of companies, it becomes imperative for the professionals to stay ahead of the curve and utilize analytic and technology to enhance their decision making. And just a quick highlight that the projection of data analytic industry says about 118.7 billion by 2026, which says there is a huge opportunity that the industry professionals and learners that can have out of doing this program. And I would like to congratulate all of you for being a part of this wonderful learning experience. As you travel this path, you will find Jara Education as to be an equally committed partner for your learning needs. I wish you all the best for your studies and future careers, and I'm confident that you'll make the most exciting opportunity out of you. Thank you so much, NITIE and Professor Shimchi and all our guests for providing me this opportunity to speak on this platform. I'm truly honored. Thank you so much. Ashita, back to you.
Thank you, ma'am. We also have with us Professor S.K. Deshmukh. I request you, sir, to share a few words.
Before you talk anything about Professor S.K. Deshmukh, sir, let me tell to my visiting dignitary, Rohit ji, as well as Jan Saab. Sir, actually, Professor Deshmukh is one of the very rare breed of academicians from India who has done incredible work in the domain of IT applications, logistics, supply chain operations management, and hundreds of his students are there working in the different industry and institutions. He was 2 times director of Triple ITM Gwalior and also deputy director of IIT Delhi, and really a man with words, and we respect him like anything, and he is very supportive in all respect to me, particularly NITIE. In many domains, he is our board of governors member also. So I request Professor Deshmukh to say a few words about this course, sir. So Deshmukh, sir.
Thank you, Professor Manoj. And I am really delighted to be here with you this evening. And I must thank Professor David. And I have been his student. And Professor David, I have attended 4 of your courses. And it was really wonderful. So I am wearing different hats today. One as a board member of NITIE, second as a student of Professor Manoj and Professor David, third as a keen participant in the developments which are surrounding us. And as Ranjita ji has nicely explained, the analytics has really changed the landscape. Analytics is really the brain on which the entire supply chain operations are arranged. And we are basically looking at exploring variety of options. And Professor David is a born teacher. The way he explains concept and the way he takes entire audience with you, hats off to you, Professor David, and I really enjoy it. And basically the context is a very, very ambitious program by Government of India, that is Prime Minister's Gati Shakti program. And this Gati Shakti program is basically a program which brings variety of ministries, variety of government departments under one roof. And the objective is to provide last mile connectivity, provide a good platform for exchanging the views, provide a good platform for planning infrastructure, provide a good platform, most importantly, to reduce our logistic cost. Currently, it is in 2-digit, 14 to 5%, make it as 9% or so. And with that objective, I must compliment NITIE has taken this mantle of building the capacity. The target is to provide training for 75,000 professionals who will be acting as both a message as well as messenger in transmitting the message about Gati Shakti. And that Gati Shakti is going to change the entire landscape. And we are already witnessing the tremendous improvement that has taken place. And thanks to Professor Manoj's effort, and thanks to the way this program has been designed. The program has been designed keeping industry people in mind. And in every session, what is interesting is that after Professor David's exposition to the course content, the last 15 minutes or so are basically spent in interacting with the industry. We also know where the practice is moving and how India has made tremendous progress in this. And from that point of view, I think this particular program, the current edition in business analytics, has to be really appreciated. As I said, business analytics is basically providing the necessary armory to the toolkit of the supply chain professional. And from that point of view, we have to really appreciate the modeling and the way these models are actually being utilized. And I'm sure, Professor David, you must have seen the way Indian industry is moving, and especially the government sector. You talk about transportation coming from railways or transportation in the roadways, the kind of infrastructure development that has been made in terms of highways, it is really stupendous. And this Gati Shakti program is going to provide a good platform for exchanging the view, exchanging the case studies which have been developed, the models which have been actually practiced by the industry, and so on. Once again, I compliment the entire team of NITIE. I compliment Professor Manoj and Professor David. When they start the class, it is a ideal classical jugalbandi between Professor David and Professor Manoj Tiwari. We really enjoy this. Thank you very much, and thank you very much. I must thank the ministry for supporting such kind of wonderful program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Now I welcome Shri Sanjeev Jain, the Global Head of Workforce Management and Academy at Kyndryl. He is leading global diverse teams to drive customer advocacy and operational excellence, along with setting up integrated global centers of excellence. He is delivering customer value, profitable growth, and making a difference in the community with corporate citizenship and social responsibility. His specialization involves leading change, creating a culture of integrity, relationship management, collaborative leadership, and affinity groups. We are truly honored to have you here, sir.
Thank you, Ishita. Can you also give me the access to share a presentation? I have a few pages that I wanted to share.
Yes, sir, we are giving in a moment.
Thank you. While she's giving access, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be always engaged with NITIE in any platform. Thank you, Professor Sumi Jha, Professor Rufin, Professor Manoj Tiwari for inviting me. It's really a pleasure and a privilege to be part of this audience, as well as the faculty, Professor David Simchi, Shri Rohit Singh, and Shri Deshmukh. Really happy to be here. What I thought I will do is I will share some of my perspectives and learnings of business analytics over a period of last 30 years. I graduated from NITIE in '93. And as I was growing, as most of you in the audience would have started with math and statistics as the base courses in those days, did some bit of operational research. And the system that, if you folks remember those days, we had was SPSS, the statistical package for software systems. I have very, very fond memories of that. And then subsequently, I moved on, spent about 15 years with GE, General Electric, and I got Master Black Belt certified in the Six Sigma program. And that is where my journey began, literally, by applying what I learned in NITIE into the industry, especially in financial services. I was surprised how I could implement some of the learnings from the manufacturing industry into the services industry. And I was able to use, and you will kind of laugh at it, things like box plots, run charts, pie charts, regression. So I think it was really fun, because see, it's always good to have fun while you are also doing things. That's what makes it passionate. And then once you become a Six Sigma alumni, it becomes a way of life. And to me now, I apply it professionally as well as personally. There are many, many use cases of these business analytics, as I said, in professional and personal life. It is happening in businesses, as Professor David shared. We see it in stock markets every day globally. We see it applied in elections for predicting who wins. We also see that it's being applied by consumers in their behavior, what they want to do, what they want to buy, and also from researchers. So I want to just share some thoughts from my perspective, as I said, from the financial services and the IT, the information technology and professional services industry. So some of the use cases I will share will relate to those, but I'm sure they apply very well to all other industries, as I did mention. So if you can see my screen now, I'll just start sharing.
Chief Guest David is agal bagal.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah. That's some stuff.
Thank you.
तुमको पता है कि नहीं पता यहाँ से layout.
Okay. So I think to me, I just summarized what, from my perspective, the business analytics from data to insights and decision making is all the elements of those. And I know Professor David and Professor Manoj will get into a lot of details over the next 30 hours, starting from statistics, visualization, what if, modeling, data mining, etc. But let me, one sec. Yeah. See, this is a page that I've taken from internet. So thanks to ChatGPT and the other the tools that we have, just to get some context. What I have seen in the industry is I started in the bottom with reporting, right? With reporting was about reports, what happened, why, how. It's all about post-mortem. It's about looking back, trying to see what happened after the fact. And on the top, over a period of last 10 years, I have started seeing at least that now people have started using the past data to still look at predicting why it happened, what will happen, what if, and what can we do to prevent, etc. I would say from an industry perspective, at least from my experience, we are still at almost the middle of this. I think there is a lot of runway, and I'm very happy with the course that is being driven and the vision to have 75,000 professionals trained on this, because we need to really leverage the rich data that we have, in fact, data overload that we have, into really using it to predict and be more prepared for things that are going to come. So as I said, let me focus on the use cases that I am very passionate about. And I picked up 4 use cases that I have used and currently still using in my current role. So on the left, what you see is what is the functional ask. And generally what we do in a corporate is we look at our functional ask and we try to deep dive. But the point is it's all related end to end across the functions, starting with sales to almost delivery, execution, and almost billing, right? Ultimately, you have to get the money for what you have delivered. So the first one, classic, is workforce and capacity planning. It's almost similar to the production planning and control that we see in the factories. And this is where I picked up most of my learning on the shop floors of Mahindra and Mahindra when I joined. So the ask is we need to have talent availability at the right time, right cost, right place, right skill. And this is just in time, basically. Now, too many variables in this. And from an industry perspective, you would have seen a few years back with COVID, there is work from home. There has been the great resignation with a lot of people leaving. And now you see the layoffs happening because the industry has found itself in a situation that they overestimated the demand. They hired a lot more talent than they needed. The demand did not coming for various economic reasons Professor David shared. And now I think there is layoffs, which is very unfortunate. But I think this is a classic problem of talent supply chain, workforce planning, to me, not being leveraged to the extent it should have been. So here what we do is we actually use some of the tools, regression, sensitivity analysis, which Professor David and Manoj will talk about in their program. And we look at the variables in the business, which is utilization. Utilization is how many people you bill in a company. What is the time you're on bench, which means you're non-productive, you're idle. What's the revenue loss if you don't get a resource on time? What's the attrition? If attrition happens, how do you make sure the work is picked up either by automation or by someone else? And how do you optimize the cost, in the sense, today with work from home and the hybrid workforce and the gig economy, you can actually do the work from anywhere, especially for the professional services. So cost optimization means where it makes sense to do the work at the lowest cost. Should you hire someone, or should we outsource the work, or should we have a subcontractor do the work, right? All these decisions. And then there is something around the skill gaps and gluts, with the skills changing so fast every few months. How do you make sure your workforce is having the skills required for the future as they're delivering the present skills. So basically skill gaps and gluts. A pretty complicated scenario, but I think it's fun to deal with such variables. And I just want to share one of these that we do it on a day-to-day basis. Second is, this was an ask about attrition indicator, especially when I mentioned about the great resignation and the layoff. So this is basically to help companies reduce attrition or to identify some early warning indicators of employee attrition. It's by multiple variables again: location, level, band, skill, gender, tenure. And what we have seen here is, there are folks like what we call infant mortality in the industry, which is people who live in 0 to 1 years. We ignore that. But I think we see that after 4 to 5 years, there is a propensity for people to leave unless they are provided an opportunity for a role change or a promotion. So I think this helps us to identify such employees who are eligible for what I call talent rotation for their career enhancement. So again, pretty good, pretty interesting stuff that's done using business analytics. And then there is the third case on the revenue and margin expansion. This is always an ongoing, I would say, an ongoing requirement, considering the economy, considering the market, considering the competition. So the ask has been to drive profitable growth by really looking at both the levers, the top line levers like revenue levers, pricing, time to bill, etc., and the margin levers, the cost levers, utilization, offshoring, pyramid, travel, automation, etc. So here also we have used some regression tools, Bayesian analysis, and identified which levers and weightages, right? Especially how much weight is for which lever. Do I drive utilization more or do I drive pyramid more? Which is faster to give me the benefits? Yeah, so this is helped to predict and provide scenarios for the margin expansion. And then last use case is about the sales and pipeline growth, very important for companies as they, in their earnings, provide a guidance to see what backlog, what pipeline they have. So it helps to provide a prediction on the deal win-loss based on various parameters like your TCV, which is total contract value, country presence, whether they are having significant presence in the country, what's the competition in that country, the pricing, the deal duration, etc., etc. So just wanted to give you a flavor of some of the use cases that I have experienced, and it's always fun to deal with numbers and connecting them, more importantly, with the business outcomes. So hopefully this has given you a flavor of some of the cases, and I'm sure Professor Simchi and Professor Manoj will share a lot more in the next few in the course as we go ahead. So what have I learned over the last many years dealing with a lot of this, right? So I think to me, I always like good to great. It's always evolving. So I wouldn't say what we did in the past was bad. I would say that what we did in the, what we were doing well was we were at least doing the root cause analysis, reactive reporting. But I think what we need now is more proactive, forward-looking, 360-degree views that I spoke about, the insights for future. And then we have to move from what we call the lagging metrics, which is the X. There are a lot of ratios, a lot of metrics, a lot of dashboards in the industry, a lot of reports that go on. But what's important is to focus on the few leading key performance indicators, which are linked to the dollars and the business impact, which is the Y. There is a lot of data. Data is multiplying by the minute. There is a lot of cognitive data overload, as all of you see. But end of the day, what makes sense, even for business analytics, is think first, pause and think, what is the problem? Why are we doing? What are we doing? Apply common sense. A lot of times, we may not need a lot of complicated models to arrive at simple solutions. So as we say, keep it simple, right? So keep simplifying it. My favorite is this: in the industry, there are a lot of watermelon dashboards. For those of you who have not heard it, watermelon looks green from outside. When you cut it, there is a lot of red inside. That's how the dashboards are. Every metric looks green. When you go level 2, level 3, level 4, there are reds, which means there is opportunity to improve. So I think what business analytics can help is definitely dashboards with drill down capability for doing some root cause analysis for the few X's which are at level 4 or level 5, which can make a big difference to the business outcome finally. And then we have we have been publishing, standardizing reports. This is also very cultural. A lot of senior leadership also likes to receive reports. I think we still do not have a culture, I think, where people are used to going and doing a self-service on reports. That means logging into Power BI, logging into Tableau or those tools, and then playing around and doing some what-if scenarios. But in the future, I think we'll get there with more folks getting comfortable with digital transformation. This is the way for future. And last but most important, I've learned is, we all are very smart, knowledgeable people. Y is a function of X. We can solve that equation. That's pretty easy. Logic is good. But what I've learned is what's very, very important end of the day is Q into A equal to E. What I mean by that is you can have a great quality solution, but unless you have the acceptance, it will not be effective. Hence, my only request is, as you embark on this journey of business analytics, make sure you understand and implement change management, which is very, very critical to drive a buy-in and a shared need for implementing some of the solutions that you come out with. So in closing, what I would say is what gets measured gets done. I would wish you all the best for a very professionally fulfilling program. And I would say that to me, it's intellectual, it's creative, it's emotional. Have fun with it. And as they say, data is the new oil. But oil by itself cannot do anything. Oil has to be put in a vehicle to enjoy the fun of driving it. And as part of the PM's Gati Shakti mission, if we have to really enjoy this, I would say business analytics is the oil, is the new oil for, or is data is the new oil, but business analytics is the engine that cranks this oil to help in the Gati Shakti mission. So thank you once again, NITIE and Professor Manoj Tiwari, Professor David Simchi, Professor Deshmukh, and Shri Rohit ji. Thanks for gracing the occasion. I'm very happy for folks who want to be engaged with me and share their experiences as we get along. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I welcome Shri Rohit Kumar Singh, who is currently the Secretary, Department of Consumer Affairs. Shri Rohit Kumar Singh is an IAS officer of the 1989 batch, Rajasthan cadre. After graduating in electrical engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Banaras Hindu University, he completed Masters in Computer Engineering from Clarkson University, New York, USA, before joining the IAS. He has worked extensively and provided leadership at the middle and senior levels in Government of India and in the state of Rajasthan across departments, example, National Highways, Medical and Health, Home, Information Technology, Finance, Commercial Access, Urban Infrastructure Development, Road Transport, Rural Development, Culture and Information, and Public Relations. He also successfully led the initiative of asset recycling of public funded national highways, toll operate transfer model that resulted in one of the largest FDI in the highway sector amounting to USD 1.5 billion, one of the first successful asset monetization in India. Thank you, sir. It is a privilege to have you with us today. Shri Rohit Kumar Singh, sir, we would like to hear a few words from you.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, let me thank the director, Mr. Manoj Tiwari, for inviting me here. I appear to be a misfit amongst the great academicians here, but I will try and do my best. I am especially honored to share the platform with Professor David Simchi-Levi, Director Data Science Lab at MIT. And I have always held MIT in great awe. When we were studying at the Kennedy School in Harvard University, we would always look up to MIT as to, what these people are, what do they eat, what do they think, and how come they're all geniuses. So now we have one in our company, and I'm so honored to be in his company. You just saw some great presentation from a practitioner as to how this theory of analytics has been applied by him. And I admired, the passion with which he was saying. And I remember he said, his journey really started when he started, using these techniques into his real business. So that is a great example for all the participants as to how, whatever you do, whatever you apply, if you are passionate about it, it will definitely going to lead to results. I also heard one of the directors on the board, Professor Deshmukh, and also with great interest listened to what he had to say. So I work for the government, and I've been here 34 years in the IAS, and I want to tell you that the analytics is not just your domain. We also do a lot of analytics in government, because I think the objective of both the organizations is similar, except the end objective. A business entity, of course, has to make profits in the end. We are here to serve the public, but the efficiency of delivery of those services is a function of analytics that I have seen throughout my career. There was a talk of highway sector. I worked for 6 years in the highway sector, first as joint secretary in the ministry and then member finance in National Highway Authority. And I am very envious now of the Gati Shakti, because I remember when we were planning the big highways, including the now almost done Delhi Mumbai expressway and the Eastern Peripheral Expressway around Delhi, and many other expressways and highways in the country. At the stage of planning, we would feel this constraint of not having data of different layers of utilities, so that infrastructure planning became more difficult. And I'm very happy that now Gati Shakti is taking shape. We just saw a wonderful video of Gati Shakti as to how, if I remember last time, we closely worked with Ministry of Industry and Commerce, that there are about 81 layers on GIS where you have this data. And it's useful for everyone, even for us. Bureau of Indian Standards is with us in our ministry. And when we want to set up a new testing lab, now we see on Gati Shakti platform where the industry clusters are, and then it is optimally decided as to where ideally we should set up the test facility. For example, we wanted to set up a new facility to test transformers, which are used so much in the distribution and transmission of electricity. And we realized that currently the transformer testing is happening in Bhopal, Bangalore, and Ghaziabad. And we realized that all the transformer manufacturers are in Rajasthan and Haryana, that cluster. And they were like 200. So we thought, let's set up a facility here so that the cost to economy of the transformers getting transported to the testing center. It's just an example of how efficiency can be built into the system by analyzing data. And now that Gati Shakti has provided that ready-made kind of a platform, it's beneficial to all of us. I mean, it was a win-win proposition for the industry and for the government, and of course to the economy. Now, analytics is not something new. I think with the advent of technology and the cost of memory going down and cost of computing going down and computing power rising exponentially, it is now easy to do analytics. I mean, it's very obvious, as was told by Mr. Jain very brilliantly, as to how data can provide you insights into decision making and into consumer behavior. So as I understand, for the government and probably true for the business also, there are two aspects. One is your internal management, your internal efficiencies, your inventory management, your supply chain management. And the other is your interface with the consumer, which is actually going to get to the revenues that you get and which ultimately determines the success of your business. So I think in both aspects, the analytics is so important that you cannot you cannot afford to ignore it now. It leads, of course, to improvement, but also lets you determine what are the risks and opportunities. Professor David Simchi-Levi said that there are three challenges now which are experienced by everyone in the system: inflation, resilience, and the labor markets. And how various geopolitical events accentuate one of these three or all three of these three, and how it has happened over the last 3 years. We have seen in when COVID struck in 2020, I was the health secretary of Rajasthan, and we didn't know what to do. So suddenly supply of medicines to everything, supply of essential commodities, including the milks, vegetables, medicines, everything got stuck because there were these curfews and there were these stoppages of traffic, etc. And it was very challenging for us to manage in that system. Similarly, when I was here in Government of India, the conflict in Ukraine versus Russia conflict, we get a lot of commodities from that geography, and we realized that suddenly we had to look for alternatives. And we all know it's part of the folklore as to how India managed the supply of petroleum products by, and new models emerged as to, now there is trading in rupee. So new, when there is a challenge, there are also new opportunities emerge. And now that trading in rupee has become successful, we are also trying to explore it in other commodities. So I'm saying that the analytics not only helps you to meet the challenges, it also helps you to, develop strategies. And as I think Ms. Raman mentioned, the market of analytics is huge. I was reading somewhere this morning that just the business intelligence market from in 2025 is going to rise to 33 billion. But as the as the potential of analytics increases, the challenges are also very high. As Mr. Jain very eloquently mentioned, there's huge amount of data available. Now the challenge is how to get meaningful data, how to get meaningful insights from the data. And the moment there is this extent of too much, then the task becomes difficult. How to filter out good data from that. There is the web, there is social media, there are financial softwares, there are various people doing analysis across the country. I think the big challenge now is trust, and what you trust, what you don't trust. How do you determine what to trust? And I shared with Professor Tiwari in the morning. I had written an op-ed in Economic Times, which was published today only, incidentally, as to why we should not get too much enamored with the conversational AI like ChatGPT or Bard AI, and why we need standards even in artificial intelligence if we have to proceed in the right direction. Because all these, so-called the great conversational AIs, they rely on a set of data which exists in legacy. Now, what you get is where it is derived from. So if there are racial biases, if there are gender biases, if there are inequalities, that part of the data, when you try to decipher from that data, you will get that only. So I think we need to get standards. There is the issue of privacy, there is the issue of reliability, there is the issue of safety, and many issues which will also concern all of you when you start analyzing this data. It is very good to be making your own strategies in your companies to make more profits out of the data which is derived from consumer behavior. But please pause for a moment and think whether consumer has given you consent to use that data. Are you encroaching into his privacy? Are you allowed to use that data? Because I, as Secretary Consumer Affairs, have had a lot of cases where we had to tell the companies that this is not done, you can't do that unless the consumer or the person has given you consent. In India, sometimes we take privacy a little loosely, and but I think times are changing, and like the other parts of the world, we have to fiercely protect our privacy, because if we don't, it will have huge implications in the future. Now, if you peep into the future, the way the companies, especially the retail, is going to transform is the advent of metaverse, and how, in this augmented or extended reality, the entire behavior, entire way retail is done is going to change. The experience are going to be immersive. We will have avatars which can move into a virtual showroom and we can pick up objects there. But with the advent of metaverse, the new challenges will also occur, because e-commerce or going to internet does not have a layer of identity. So that makes it difficult for us to track, and we see all these cyber attacks or whatever is having, whatever the data breaches are happening, is because of the essential nature of internet, because there is no identity layer. When you move to metaverse, it's going to further get complicated, because there is one more layer which is against identity. And the governance structure is also not unique. Metaverse or Web3 is based on decentralized governance. Now, if there is an infringement, if there is an harassment, if there is an IP breach, who do you go to and how do you pinpoint the responsibility? So to us, the people who are on the regulation side, it is emerging as a big challenge, and we are now trying to find ways. Why I'm mentioning it here, because it all relates to analytics. Now you have the first order data, but when 3 years from now metaverse based sales becomes relevant, then you are going to have this second order data, and it will become further a big challenge for both, for the companies and for the regulators, as to how we handle this. So I just thought I'll point that out. Since Professor Tiwari gave me this homework yesterday that I have to come here, I did some little study on what are the kinds of analytics you have. And it's very interesting that, it's descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, prescriptive, and cognitive. These are the 5 kind of analytics that are present. And very interestingly, since I deal with large companies and mostly e-commerce companies as part of my current job, I wanted to share it here that companies like Amazon, they rely more on descriptive and diagnostic data analytics, which is based on historic data. They track KPIs, and diagnostic as to something, some trend is unique. So they go to data mining and find out the why part of it. But countries like Uber and Starbucks, they do more predictive and prescriptive. So when you access Uber, it is more predictive and prescriptive, and the way the result come out. So that is based on that kind of diagnostic. And now the new part of analytics, which is cognitive, which synergizes the tools of artificial intelligence and machine learning. I think the Siri of Apple and the Watson of IBM, which Professor David Levy probably has the experience of working with, that is more a cognitive kind of a diagnostic, because their analytics is dependent on our cognitive behavior. So this also shows us that how from descriptive to diagnostic to predictive to prescriptive to now cognitive, the whole paradigm of data analytics is changing. Once again, I'm afraid I'm not an expert on the subject, but Professor Tiwari and Professor Michael Levy will tell you more about it. So I will stop here, and just one last point of how Gati Shakti came into play. I remember Honorable Prime Minister once called all of us, including last Sunday in the Council of Ministers meeting, and he says, everybody must follow this whole of government approach. Now, first, when he said this 2 years back, we thought it's, just something being said, and maybe, it's just this one meeting thing. But the way he has persistently focused on whole of government approach, which means breaking the silos, having all of us think in an integrated approach. And I think Gati Shakti is a great shining example of how all the departments have come together and have created this platform, which is actually a great depiction of the whole of government approach. So we must thank, sometimes we forget to thank, the vision of Honorable Prime Minister, from where this Gati Shakti and this whole of government approach has, because he also told us last Sunday in the council meeting that don't think you are just secretary to this ministry, you are secretary to Government of India. So in all your decisions, you should look at the bigger picture. And I think how great that thought is. And the way the leader thinks, we also start thinking that way. And I have seen this change happening when we meet with other secretaries, and we have meetings almost every day with other ministries. And the way now everybody is talking of converging and not protecting their own turfs. I think if this continues for a while, I've been in government for 34 years, and such kind of passion, energy, and the will to do things, I have personally experienced this for the first time, and I hope it continues, and it will do all of us a lot of good, and it will be a great thing for India. It will be a great thing, and it will take us, as PM calls it, into this Amrit Kal, from 75 years to 100 years of our preparedness. So with that great hope, I want to conclude. Thank you very much for inviting me, and Jai Hind.
So thank you, Mr. Rohit Singh ji. I just share with you that in my also around 32 years of teaching life, we are very much interacting with the Ministry of Education and others, but we never seen such a live interaction with the secretaries, additional secretaries, and all other officers. Similarly, I use other ministry like earlier, DPIT Secretary Dr. Meena ji, Mr. Meena ji, or other Defense Secretary Ajay Kumar ji, or even that Rajesh Agrawal ji. They all came actually and helped us and given their viewpoints. This is only possible because of this mindset change, which has taken place to whole of the government concept actually. And for that, we all are thankful to all of you, because this way we also feel we should do something for realizing the vision of the great leaders, and also our policy planner like you and K. Sanjay Murthy ji and all others who are there in the government at the helm of affairs. Sir. So we really feel blessed to have your direct views, not only to me, to at least more than 400 listeners who are listening these ideas, that how such schemes are now transforming the country, other than going through negative news published in the newspaper and other sectors. Correct? So thank you very much, Purohit, for coming to our platform. Over to Esther now, please.
Again, thank you, Shri Rohit Kumar Singh, sir, for sharing your expertise. I thank all our chief guests for such inspiring and encouraging words. We at NITIE will continue to add more value to businesses and help them make their presence felt globally. Dear participants, please note that from tomorrow onwards, we will have the lectures on WebEx platform at the usual time from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. The lecture links have been shared with you over the mail, and all further communications from NITIE will take place through the same registered email ID. We also have shared the link to the course website, where we will upload all the supplementary material for this course. We will be sharing it once again with you. Please mark it for your future reference. Also, if you have any queries, feel free to reach out to us. We are looking forward to our association for the next 1 month, and we are sure that there will be a lot of plannings for you through this course. Now, I invite our faculty coordinator, Professor Robin sir, for the vote of thanks.
As we reach the end of this inaugural ceremony, I, Robin T.M., one among the faculty coordinators of this course, take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has joined this unique course. Firstly, I would like to thank Professor David Simchi-Levi for accepting our invitation to lead this course after successfully completing 7 versions of this global online certification course with NITIE. So we are certain that our participants will get a wealth of knowledge and insights from his effective teaching approach, which includes a wide range of case studies and practical examples. And his teaching methodology has been much appreciated by the participants from the past courses, and we are certain that they were able to apply the learnings from the course, and by applying this learnings and in their respective organizations, they were able to bring in the operational excellence. Thank you very much, sir, for your association with us. We feel privileged to have you with us for yet another course. Thank you, sir. And we are thankful to our Honorable Chief Guest, Sri Rohit Kumar Singh, IAS, sir, for taking time out of his hectic schedule and gracing the event with his valuable presence, enlightening us with his words of wisdom, and providing us a glimpse into the application of analytics into the public sector and how analytics can be employed for improving the service delivery in the public sector across different functions of government, and also what are some of the concerns that we should be cautioned about while applying this analytics and automation. And thank you, sir. Thank you for giving us a perfect start to this course. And we extend our gratitude to our keynote speaker, Sri Sanjeev Jain, sir. And we feel honored to have heard your enlightening words on state of the art of analytics and its applications in industry. Thank you very much for coming forth with your support for NITIE and sharing words of encouragement. Thank you, sir. We are also delighted to have Jaro Education as a marketing partner for this course and their smooth operational support. Thank you, Ranjita ma'am, and your team for the wonderful support that you extended for this course. And we are thankful to all our course participants for showing an overwhelming response to this course and believing in the brand of NITIE, one of the premier institutes of this country. We look forward to ensuring that this course turns out to be of great value to you all. And we are incredibly grateful to our Honorable Director, Professor Manoj Tiwari, sir, under whose visionary leadership and guidance, the launch of this course has been possible again. A level 5 leader, Professor MK Tiwari, inspired us by his own actions and taught us to break the barriers of impossibility to make things happen. The team is really fortunate to work under your leadership, sir. Thank you very much. And we thank our deans, registrars, professors, the various officers, the staff across different domains like Industry Connect, Media Relations, and Alumni Relations, to name a few, for the support and the resource mobilization needed for this program. We are also grateful to the entire NITIE community, especially our dear students, for their continued encouragement and support. And I immensely thank the other faculty coordinator of this particular course, Professor Maheshwar Singh Mahapatra, for his relentless action in making this course successful. I would be failing in my duty if I did not thank our student coordinator team, comprising of Ishika, Kaustup, Akash, Saddam, Harsh, and Manthan, who are handling the end-to-end execution of this entire course and have brought in data-driven innovation, unparalleled creativity, and professionalism into the launch and execution. We also thank the research scholars who have helped us with the supplementary materials. We feel immensely proud of our entire team and aim to continue adding to this value to this course and our future courses for all our participants. Thank you all for attending the inaugural ceremony of this course. Wish you all a happy and smooth journey ahead. Thank you very much. Over to Ishika. Thank you.
So once again, from my side to all my guests, including Mr. Rohit Singh ji, Sanjeev Jain ji, Professor S.G. Desmukh, and Professor David, and everybody who joined this course from core of our hearts, we thank you, sir, for coming and inspiring us by your views, and hope that we have very continued association. And we again request you many other times also to visit our platform and inspire our students and give this kind of very deep, insightful ideas about the applications that we can do in the government as well as companies. Thank you, sir, for coming. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Dear participants, we will plot a form. Every participant needs to fill it for the certification process. Before ending the session, I request everyone to turn on their cameras for a photograph.
Thank you. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, everyone. We will have a break of 5 minutes, and I request all the participants to join back for the first lecture with Professor David Simchi-Levi, sir. Thank you, everyone.
So all the participants, please join after 5 minutes, because then Professor David will start covering the introduction portion of this our subjects. So once again, thanks to all the dignitaries coming and attending and helping us to conduct this function. So David sir, after 5 minutes, we will start the course. Okay, sir?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.